Beep, 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 beep. What's up, my ballers? It's your boy, Annie.
Is that a Space Jam reference?
Basketball music, you idiot.
Are you sure? Name a single basketball game you've ever seen. I'm Minty, by the way.
And this is FunUntitled, the podcast where we serve every podcast with an F you. Like, F you, I know basketball.
I'm not fixing that.
Grandmother loves the basketball-oo. Ball is life in this house. So yeah, we're gonna do the final season of Kuroko no Basket.
Finally!
But apparently I learned not the title of the series. It's Kuroko no Bosuku.
Kuroko no Basuke. I guess that's how you say basketball in Japanese, but there was the boru part.
Basketball life. Maybe in Japan it's just Kuroko's basket and all his friends are in the basket.
The fruit basket.
So yeah, there's going to be spoilers.
It's like our third episode. You can't figure that out now.
Minty has read the entire manga. Annie has only watched the anime, so this is all new for Annie.
Season 2 was better though.
Season 2 was better because Season 3 starts off with one of the most weirdest matches I've seen. Like, this season really put hey, sometimes we're gonna introduce things that doesn't make sense. Sometimes you're just gonna have to accept it. Like, you understand it, you just don't want to understand it. I have to accept that. Like, I'm just gonna have to accept there's a silver-haired boy who got dreadlocks and he can steal basketball moves.
Not only steal, but like throw off your rhythm. And then you will now be bad at basketball and you can't even use your own moves. That's the Kaijo versus the Fukuda Sojo, basically Kisei versus Haizaki. It was an interesting match. It's a real setup to the Seirin versus Kaijo match. Because honestly, how do you defeat Kisei, who can literally copy the Miracle of Generations at this point?
You cripple him.
Apparently, yeah.
Did everyone get a power-up?
Technically, yeah.
Okay.
Technically.
I guess Akashi got the power-up of friendship.
Minarima kind of has that too. And then like his teamwork, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Aomina's one is more about how he's like a really good like free-form baller to like going into the zone.
Yeah.
Which Kagami steals. Murasaki Bar, actually, he might be the only one who doesn't have a power-up because he's only in one match. So he doesn't have a chance to go from like stage 1 to stage 2. But I think it's fine. He's not really a character that needs it. I mean, they all have a unique landing.
I was going to say, should we explain season 1 and 2 with all these names? I was like, nah. If you're in season 3, you better be familiar with the characters. Watch the previous 2 episodes.
Yeah. Yeah, back then we only used color names. Now we're using real names.
That's why I memorized them.
Which is shocking for Annie, because Annie never memorizes names.
Yeah, I still don't know some of the classes of Boku no Hero Academia.
I was gonna say that too.
Yeah.
That match was okay. And then we get to semi-finals with Shutoku versus Rakuzan, which I've said before is like my second favorite match.
Red versus green.
Damn it, we're over the colors.
Wait a second, this is your second favorite match?
This is my second favorite match.
Oh, is it because of the extremely gay moment between Midorima and Tako?
The extremely gay moment where Midorima is the all-star 3-point shooter, can't do it because Akashi is using his Emperor Eye to like make him miss the shot. So instead, Midorima gets into position and Tako has to perfectly push the ball into his hands. Which actually, if you think about it, isn't that reminiscent of what Akashi could do with the Rakuzan later?
Yeah.
In the match with Seirin.
A little, but this one's more gay.
This is more gay because only those two.
Yep. And Akashi saw this, a little spoilers for the manga, and said, I need to get that gay boy on my Olympics team.
Kind of the Olympics, kind of.
Kind of the Olympic.
It's not really the Olympics. We'll talk about the last game where the Generation of Miracles plus Kuroko, Kagami, Junpei, and Tako fight like an American team. I think the American team's an Olympic team, and then the Japanese coach just got them together.
Who is Junpei?
The leader of Seirin.
Whoa.
The captain.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, well,
I'm pretty sure. I haven't seen the last game yet.
Junpei Hyuga?
Hyuga.
But that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's a 3-pointer and no one can beat Midorima.
I mean, I think they have a 2 for each position, except center. But Murasaki Bar doesn't move that much anyway, so.
That's amazing. I thought he was going to become a barber boy.
Sure.
Oh, this is the first time hearing of this. But yeah, Akashi beats Midorima, but, not in love.
They've Depends on how you see it. And then the second half of the semifinals is Seirin versus Kaijo. This was an okay match. Because of Kisei's injury, you never really get to see a full-blown battle. Feels like a season 1 or 2 match. Remember when Kagami's legs got hurt?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that again. It's like, okay, whatever.
Did Kagami enter the zone during this match?
He did not.
So yeah, it seemed like we weren't all giving it all.
Yeah, I guess because, I don't know, wasn't like a big deal or something. He wasn't there the whole time. They didn't really focus too much even on his teammates, surprisingly, even though Kisei wasn't there.
Kisei has like some of the most memorable teammates. The one who yells too much, the captain with the giant eyebrows, the playboy fuckboy.
Yeah, actually Kagamatsu is my favorite captain of all Kuroko no basketball.
I'm gonna bring it up now. You like Kagamatsu and Kisei because it reminds you of Oikawa and his boy toy in Haikyuu. It's like almost the same exact, like, oh, can I copy your homework? Yeah, just change it a bit so they can't tell.
Haikyuu came second. It's very cute. I like it.
Who do you think did the trope better, Haikyuu or Kuroko no Basket?
I don't know. They're hard to compare, right? Because Haikyuu, they're the same age, they're childhood friends. This one, they've just met each other this year.
I didn't know they were childhood friends in Haikyuu.
What? You've seen the first 2 seasons?
Have I seen them as children?
There are 3
Have I seen them as children?
Yes, in season 1 and 2, yes.
Oh.
Because they don't appear that much past season 2.
Oh.
There are 3 main childhood friends in Haikyuu. Who are they?
Obviously, Kuro and Kenmon, number 1.
Of course, that's the first one you think
I
of.
love them. Number 2 is Oikawa and his boy toy.
Because I told you.
I forget what his name is.
Iwa-chan.
Iwa-chan. It's like Ka-chan. We'll never remember his name. We'll remember the nickname.
Iwazumi.
Iwazumi. And I want to say the last one is Bokuto and his boyfriend?
God, no.
Oh.
Oh yeah, they probably don't talk about it till like season 3 or 4, how they met. I like the way they met. It's very cute. It's Tsukishima and Yamaguchi.
Oh, right. I forgot.
Oh, yeah.
You like that shit.
I do like that shit.
Yamaguchi is not a good character. I gotta keep watching to figure it out.
We'll talk about Haikyuu later. Admonish you at that time. But basically, yeah. Seirin beats Kaijo. And then we go into the Teiko backstory, which pretty much explains the Generation of Miracles, how they got to where they are.
A part of me is glad we have a coherent timeline. Another part of me is like, I'm rewatching the same shit.
I thought this was a very interesting thing to have in this. Because not many sports animes have this. To be honest, the premise of this, it's the only series that really could. At least a sports anime. So I actually really like this. It kind of puts everything back into perspective of what this whole series is about.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Right?
It breaks my heart every single time, though.
It is extremely sad, especially the Aomine part.
Yeah.
And then it kind of puts into perspective that, oh, like this shit didn't just happen to Aomine. It really did happen to all 5 of them.
Well, I feel like Midorima and Kisei is going along for the ride.
I think Kisei was kind of going for the ride because nothing really changed for him.
Yeah.
I do think Midorima, I don't think his personality changed, but the whole, aspect of playing and skills. Because he goes from, being a really good 3-point shooter to, shooting at half court,
Oh.
It's not as obvious that they made it with, Aomine, Murasaki Bara, Akashi. And then it explains, Kuroko and why he really likes playing basketball. Because if you think about it, before this point, it didn't really make sense. But it's it's because he had a childhood friend and they made promises and they were, constantly talking to each other even though they weren't, in the same city anymore.
You know what hisses me off to no end is that in the anime, they took out all the scenes where you get to see the childhood friend, text him and call him. And I was like, what, you guys just write emails to each other? I can't even read this email because the dub doesn't translate it.
That was weird.
Jumping a little forward, the best friend, very important in the end, as the climax. So the fact that they made him less important, I was like, what the f*** are you doing?
Yeah, I thought that was always strange because I knew what he looked like. I guess for me, it didn't feel as obvious because I kind of knew what was going to happen. But I guess from your perspective, it was this guy kind of should have been built up more.
Yeah. God, I just cannot explain how sad I was seeing them all as friends and then slowly, gradually, they're not even teammates anymore. And, Kuroko made that promise to Momori, oh, of course we'll always be friends. And it turns to, sorry Momori, I don't even know what you're talking about. What promise?
Oh, that's heartbreaking. It's just, it's so good. And then of course we get into the last match, the Seirin versus Rakuzan match, where they have to defeat the All Might Akashi with the Kuroko replacement and three uncrowned kings.
So we can all agree that Murasaki Bara fucked over Akashi, right?
What do you mean?
Because Akashi wouldn't have snapped if Murasaki Bara didn't beat him.
I guess so, but if it wasn't Murasaki Bar, it would have been Aomine or Midorima.
Okay.
I think it was just the natural course of what was to happen, especially because Akashi has so much pressure on him as part of a prominent family.
So Akashi snapped that day and he never resorted back, right?
I guess so, yeah.
Okay. Also, was there any purpose of the old coat?
Oh, the old man?
Yeah.
I think it was just to have a foil to explain that like they were at a good point and then they're slowly going to the bad point, and he's really emphasizing if this keeps going, they're gonna get into a worse point. So I'm gonna try to fix that. Because if nobody tells you it's wrong, then you don't think it's wrong. So
okay.
yeah, and then the second coach comes, he's like, no, I don't care. Let's just keep going. And that's what took them to the worst point.
And yeah, unfortunately, Akashi, you figure out his abilities. It wasn't bringing a gun out, as I predicted.
You stupid piece of shit.
So sad. I thought the whole time the incident was someone brought a gun to a game.
Dang it, you
But
piece of crap.
it was basically just Akashi being like, hey, Kuroko, watch me top your friend.
Shut up.
I had the vibes.
That was really sad. Okay, we keep going back between the Takeo backstory and the last match, but because they got bored with the game, so they started giving themselves points, but then that got boring. They were like, okay, let's get to match all ones, and that's super sad. It's much sadder in the manga, I thought.
Yeah, the anime kind of whizzed by it a little.
Yeah, because in the manga, this was a very long arc, but in the anime, it's 2 episodes.
It felt long though. So yeah, going back to the last match of the series. Okay, what do you think about the 3 uncrowned kings?
I do like 3 uncrowned kings. Usually the anime, I felt was pretty good pace. I felt this last, even though it was 7 episodes long, something about it felt rushed. They didn't really explain the 3 uncrowned kings too much. They explained Akashi very well.
It was kind of hard to understand the one who was really good at the 3-pointers with Heaven, Earth, and Void.
Yeah.
Because from what I understood, Void is the 3-shot that couldn't be beat. And I'm like, why don't you just always do Void then?
I think the 3 has to work in tandem because part of it is not knowing which one he's gonna do.
And then I was like, did he tell them that it was called Heaven, Earth, and Void?
I don't know. These people, all of a sudden you hear people in the crowd being like, whoa, it's the Vanishing Drive! And it's like, how do you know this? What?
There was a black guy, and I think his whole thing was that he was a really powerful center.
Yeah, basically. He's just muscles.
Which is very, lackluster compared to everyone else.
Yeah.
And then you have my boy! Because I shit you not, I will listen back to episode 1. I asked you, is there a guy who dribbles really well? Because that's the only basketball thing I knew. And you was like, oh.
Yeah, I guess I kind of forgot him and Akashi are kind of the dribbling,
gods.
Whatever you want to call it. Experts, I guess?
Yeah.
Because Akashi had the ankle breaker. The Emperor Eye is a separate technique. I thought, the 2 sides of him had different powers. I guess technically they do. Because the aggressive Akashi used Eagle Eye to do ankle breaking. While nice Akashi used the Emperor Eye more for giving everyone
The ball.
the zone.
Oh, the zone, yeah.
Kagami and Akashi both had a wide defense.
I thought that was so cool. It's why isn't Akashi doing anything? It's and you pan over to Akashi and he's trying to enter Kagumi's area of effect and he can't.
Yeah. So there were some good concepts in this one. And they had some pretty good animations, especially with Akashi.
You know the Kuroko clone that Akashi made?
Yeah, Mayuzumi?
Is he only better than Kuroko because he can shoot?
Yeah, I think that was the idea of it.
But then Akashi's like, you idiot, Kuroko. Why do you think I never made you shoot?
Well, I guess because Kuroko was one version, and then Mayuzumi was a second version.
Oh.
I mean, it's an interesting idea. And then, of course, Seirin wins because what would you have if they don't win?
Did you think it was weird how they're like, let's make every member of the team play, saying that, oh, you go into a state of fatigue if you go up against Akashi?
I did think it was a little weird. I didn't think it was that necessary, but I don't know. I guess they already kind of introduced the idea of having those people in.
Yeah.
So it didn't feel that far out, but I didn't think it was that necessary either.
I did not give 2 shits about Kitty Boy and his tennis career.
Oh, yeah. Kogane. I don't know. I guess because it's he's a second year. But there's a third second year that they never talk about. So it's okay. I think his name is Tsuchida. It's I really don't need to know this. I guess they just bring a different vibe.
Mm.
And then, what I was pleasantly surprised was that, pretty much the whole anime follows the manga to a T. 95%, right? They miss details here and there. Most of them have been arbitrary, except the one about not seeing Ogiwa Ogiwara's face. But the last episode of them celebrating Kuroko's birthday, I'm obsessed with it. It's so funny, it's so cute, you get to see a diversity. It's so fan servicey because you get to see the 6th generation miracles just play against each other and like, you know, using these over the top skills against each other. And then like the Seirin has the birthday party and then like all these like random people just drop by and it's like, it's so good. It's like, it makes watching the whole thing worth it. Even though it of itself is just worth watching as well.
Oh yeah, like seeing the Akashi 180 personality flip from being the guy like, I'm going to throw scissors at Kagami to, you know, being so nice at the birthday party. It's like, but now here's the thing. Why wasn't Kuroko's friend invited?
You know,
if all these Tom, Dick, and Harrys are coming, like, you show the friend being like, you know, the whole High School Musical 2 scene was like, I believe in you, Kuroko.
I don't, you know, that's a good point. I don't know why. I mean, maybe he just lives super far away. I
guess
don't know.
If we don't have Akashi pulling strings behind the scene, we can't afford to go to, looks at Smudge Hand, Tokyo.
Yeah, I think Kuroko lives in Tokyo. Akashi is in Kyoto. I forget where they say Murasaki Bar is. I think he's like more up north. And then I don't know where Ogiwara is at all. I don't know much about Japan.
Yeah, going back to how cute this last episode was. Like, just seeing them all be really nice friends with each other and all horny for Kuroko.
Oh my god, my 2 favorite scenes is the one where Tako brings Himuro to the Kagami's apartment and then Himuro using Midorima's dry mushrooms for the stew. Those are my 2 favorite scenes.
You can attest. I have many questions about that rickshaw.
Oh my god, Annie will not shut up about the rickshaw.
I demand a backstory. Like, Kuroko no Basket has a spin-off series about, like, just side stories and back in middle school Teiko, and it's called Kuroko no Basket Replace Plus, and I'm just like, there's no backstory to this rickshaw. Like, we got flashback scenes when Midorima was fighting Akashi. We know how Tako and Midorima met. Why was the rickshaw not introduced?
I don't know. There needs to be like one of those chibi parodies of Kuroko no Basketball. And it'd be so easy with how quirky these characters are.
Oh, they're so quirky, like, so unique in all the ways and hair colors.
Like, if Haikyuu can have it, My Academia, Naruto, Kuroko no Basketball could definitely have one.
And then, so, we never watched Kuroko the last game.
Which, if we do, we're not done with Kuroko no Basketball. This is not gonna be the last episode.
Oh my god.
If we ever find a way to watch the last game, sub the dub, we're gonna watch it and talk about it.
That reminds me, yeah, the dub? Yeah, it's fucking phenomenon.
Oh my, this dub was super good. And I love how they use like modern language or like internet slang.
Yeah.
And it got a little gay at some point, but that's just kind of how the slang goes.
Yeah, I thought it was really gay even though it wasn't supposed to be when they was like, hey Kagami, go get your best friend. Like, hey, whatever.
Yeah, and there's the one where Midorima is talking to Kagami.
Oh yeah.
And Tako is like, oh, he's talking to your boyfriend? He's like, shut up. Oh, wasn't that one was like, he was like, you're not even my type?
Yeah. Midorima said that to Kagami.
Yeah, shoot. Ugh.
And then sometimes Kagami talked real slang. Like, sometimes you forget Kagami is actually voiced by an African American.
Oh, this is so good.
The only one I didn't really agree on is I still don't know if Murasaki Bar is supposed to sound that high pitch and whiny. Maybe.
He's always been a complainer, so yeah, I guess because I assume because he's like the tall guy, he would have a deep voice.
Yeah, like he's supposed to be big and menacing.
Yeah, I mean, on the court. Otherwise, he's literally a food glutton.
I don't know if this is a well-established gag, but he's very tall, so in the spin-off of Replace Plus, he would always grab, like, you know, people's head and be like, I'm gonna crush you.
Yeah, I think he's done that.
Okay, and I'm just like, your voice, I can't take you seriously, my man.
But I thought every voice actor, besides Murasaki Bar, matched the voice. I love Almine's voice actor.
Oh, Almine, he voices Bond from Natsu no Taizai. I thought it was so funny. And he was one of the few who actually sounded younger during the middle school.
Yeah, that was true. Man, Kuroko no Basketball can draw people younger. I think it's like 3 years, because most series don't do that.
Most series don't do that.
So, this was really good.
And yeah, you know, that's the end of the anime, but God, I love it.
I just want to reiterate that I have seen so many sports animes, and I've tried getting Annie into them, and Annie has said no. The 2 prominent ones I've had shown Annie, Haikyuu and Hikaru no Go, 2 very good series, very realistic, in the realm of reality, and Annie's like, I don't care. They're okay. I can see why they're good. I just don't care. And then I'm like, oh, there's this basketball anime that I really like. It's definitely not as good, but I would like you to watch them because I want to watch it as well. And Annie was like, sure. And Annie is just head over here, phenomenally adores this series. Annie does not shut up about this series.
I think one thing is that in Haikyuu, right, like those emotional highs and lows of being with them, being like, is this team going to win? Like, you know, but in the back of your minds, like, they're the main characters. Like, they already lost once. They can't lose again in the main competition.
But that does happen in Haikyuu.
But they lost once.
They lose again.
Oh, they lost again? I don't know. When did I see that?
No.
Yeah, okay, then I guess you spoiled it, huh?
Yeah, I'm trying to build a point though, that Haikyuu's not as predictable as you
I'm
think.
just saying, I don't give...
Because Kuroko no Basketball was gonna win every match.
I'm just trying to say the point. I don't give a shit if they win or lose. Like, that's like, oh, okay, they won, okay. Oh, they lost. I know the series is still gonna keep going. But in Kuroko no Basket, me watching 5 idiots plus Kuroko have a falling out, and throughout the whole series is them literally like coming back together to be, you know, a unit again. I'm like, yeah!
Oh, that's why you like it. It's the stupid found family trope.
No, shut the fuck up. So, like, I don't know, like, okay, Hikari no Go, you have to admit, you have to be a certain type of person that likes Hikari no Go.
A smart person. Hikari no Go is like the Frasier of animes.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not, because there's also Death Note and Case Closed. But I mean, in terms of like, it's a sports anime, but it's also very smart. It's a Frasier in that sense.
And when you watch Hikari no Go, you just have to be okay with the fact you don't actually see any matches. So you just have to take a lot of people's
drama.
It's hard because in Haikyuu, you have to just take word of mouth. Hey, Sai just defeated like the number 1 Go player. Sai is the best Go player. And you're just like, okay, Haikyuu, if you're telling me. In Kuroko no Basket, they fucking rotoscope every scene. I guess we watched all the sweat drop.
Dude, you think that was because there was some crazy angles.
Oh yeah, totally rotoscoped in some scenes.
Well, I guess now I know that Annie likes series that are just really out there and have a underlining family trope.
Goodbye.